Hi there, students. Dimension. Okay, dimension is a noun. It's a way of measuring the spatial extent of something, the width, the height, the length of something. So the dimensions of the box are 60 centimeters by 30 centimeters by 25 centimeters, the dimension, the width, the height, the length. We can also use dimension to talk about the magnitude, the scope of something. So the dimensions of this problem is something that is very alarming. The dimensions of the job we are going to undertake mean that we are going to have to work very hard. Dimension, an aspect of something. So this scandal is very important. It has a political dimension, but it also has a social dimension and an economic dimension, an element, an aspect to it. I guess as a verb as well, to dimension, to make something to specific dimensions. We have dimensional as an adjective. So we live in a three-dimensional world. Well, maybe there's a fourth dimension, which is often referred to as time, because time is something that measures space as well, perhaps. So, dimension, the measurements of something in space. I measured the dimensions of the room for the carpet. This is a three-dimensional representation of what the product will look like. Okay, a problem of considerable dimensions, considerable size. The dimension, the scope of what we are attempting is very ambitious. The job that she does every day added a new dimension to her life. For me, having children added a new dimension to my life as well. Unemployment does not only affect the individual who's unemployed. Unemployment has a social dimension. It affects families, it affects the society where people live as well. So it has a dimensional factor as well. Okay, so a dimension, a single aspect of something. You can enjoy this book on many dimensions. It's got a really good story. The style of writing is excellent, and the setting where the book takes place is really interesting. Dimension, the spatial extent, how it goes, the height, the length, the width, the dimensions of a box. A dimension, an aspect of something. So dimensions. This is a project of very large dimensions. He's a very good designer, and he has that extra dimension that gives him something extra. I guess velocity has the dimension of distance divided by time. Tales from the 17th dimension. That sounds like a science fiction book. Okay, this adds a new aspect, a new dimension to the political landscape. The Creation of a new political party adds dimension to the political landscape. So the measurement of something, state the measurements. A building of vast dimensions, a man of vast dimensions. As features as well, his personality has many different dimensions. To add a new dimension to something, to give it a new feature, a new way of considering it. There is a spiritual dimension to the poetry that he writes. So the script had a psychological dimension to it as well. So it's a part, a feature. A good manager will analyze every dimension of a job before embarking on it. Yes, the computer has added a new dimension to the way humans do things. ChatGPT is going to add a new dimension to our society, I'm certain. So the measures of something, the length, the breadth, the depth, an aspect or a feature of something. We must focus on the cultural dimension of this. The dimensions in the drawing must be absolutely precise. We live in a three-dimensional world. So a dimension, if something has one dimension, it's a point, no, or it's a line. 2 dimensions is a flat surface. 3 dimensions is a cube. And what is the 4th dimension? Okay, so a measure in one direction, the dimensions of the package. Okay, I guess the parameter as well of something. So the modest dimensions of the town make it a very comfortable place to live. The style of writing adds dimension to the novel. So a particular dimension of something is an aspect of something. Yeah, there is a political dimension to these accusations. The dimensions of a problem, the extent, the size. The dimensions of the disaster soon became apparent. So size, extent, magnitude, proportion, length, scope, breadth, width, volume. These are all words. So there is another dimension that you haven't mentioned yet. The coaching that I was given added a new dimension to my language use. Length is one dimension, breadth is another. So dimension. Let's see. Formality, dimension. I think I'm going to give this a 5 in formality. I think you can use it anywhere. And this comes from Latin, dimensio, measuring, measurement, dimension. So, dimension. Bye for now.